Welcome, everyone, to the Meaningful Hearts Podcast, where we discuss the everyday questions that make us or break us if we let them. With your hosts, Drew and Daniela. Take our hands and let's walk this journey together. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Meaningful Hearts Podcast. And today, Drew is flying solo. I want to talk about something that came to my attention today while I was at the gym. I have Tarun visiting from out of town. Unfortunately, his father has passed, and there's a lot of family gatherings and ceremonies being held here in New York. So while he's here, we actually get to go to the gym together, which is quite exciting. Unfortunate circumstances, but as far as the gym is concerned, it's pretty awesome when we get to work out together. Him being a insane, they have people that are insanely good with grammar, and they tell you what, they constantly correct you. Well, Tarun works that way as far as gym etiquette is concerned, as far as form, as far as like getting the most out of every exercise and doing it with the utmost proper form. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that's super important, because once again, we get to work out together. I get to get some insight on some of my technique and the things that I am doing wrong. Now, I would say that most people that go to the gym or follow a program of some sort and that they're strength training tend to really overlook how important your form is. Like, working out, specifically weight training, is not just doing the movements. You could watch a ton of videos, and I've watched so much content. I've read up on a lot of things with regard to technique and form and working out and how to build certain muscle groups and body parts. And I must say that with all that knowledge, yes, it has helped me in a lot of ways. I guess it built some sort of baseline for what I need to do in the gym, and it has gotten me results, but it also has impeded on my ability to grow. I've kind of hit a plateau. Now, in the exercising or bodybuilding world, when you're plateauing, there could be a number of factors. You could look at your diet. You could look at your sleep. You could look at how much water you're drinking. Like, there's so many combinations of things that could add to your growth and ability to grow, along with your form, technique, your rep ranges. There's so many things that you could dial in, this science. But I'd say the most overlooked thing is technique. You go to the gym, and even you see people that have grown muscle lazily throw weight around left to right or up and down, and it's very, very poor. Now the reason why I'm bringing this all up, and this is definitely not going to be an exercise podcast, right? We're not going to talk about bodybuilding right now. Not necessarily, but it kind of made me think of other things. Now, I've been on this journey for a number of years. I'm not a stranger. I'm not new to working out or exercising. I've been doing it for a number of years, especially weightlifting. But today I learned something about exercises that I've done a gazillion times, so many times. I mean, so many reps. I mean, a lot. Now, while I was there working out with Tarun, he noticed that when I was doing for example, a chest press, and how I was holding my arms in a certain direction. Now, this is not something that anybody's standing around to correct me, but I'm in the position to do something, but I don't have my feet planted in the proper direction. You're like, what do you think? Well, if you're pushing weights up with your arms and you're trying to work out your chest, what does your feet have to do with it when you're laying back on a bench, right? But in reality, your foot positioning allows you to get a little more stability to actually push up and isolate the muscle and be able to work it. And it's like, wow, I didn't know that. the whole time my foot positioning was completely off. Once I shifted that, it changed the amount of weight that I was able to push and how much easier I was able to get that weight up and down, control it slower, and actually get a better workout, better lift. Now, this is a slight change to an exercise I was already doing, but a slight change that actually helped me feel the actual muscle I was working and be a lot more stable in it, which give me a more successful workout overall. Now, this is only one area that I found this in, but doing some back workouts and just the movements of pulling the actual weight towards you and away from you, or pushing it away from you. And yeah, you could see a million videos on that, but understanding the actual compound movements that are involved in order to get the muscle you're trying to work actually worked. Now, you're not just making the movements, but you're actually trying to hold your hands down and isolate specific muscles and do the movement at the same time. And then it changes the way that you actually feel the muscle activating when you're lifting. Now, you're like, whoa, we're going down a path of like craziness now. You're talking about compound movements. You're talking about science. You're talking about eating. You're talking about water. You're talking about leg movements. You're talking about positioning. Like, Andrew, what is the whole point of this? Why are we even talking about this? Well, that's what I'm going to get to right now. I am trying to grow my muscles, and I'm trying to be more efficient at doing so. And I want to do it the most proper way, because if you're going to spend an hour, you're going to spend 2 hours in the gym. But if you're not doing everything that you're supposed to be doing properly, and you're not making that slight adjustment that you should be making that you don't even realize you're making, you're going to be completely off course in another direction. And the amount of progress that you could make once you correct the one slight thing that you're overlooking, it changes everything. We're not talking about the difference between, a minor change or minor adjustment's going to do a little bit, but this actually might change the trajectory of my muscle development, where I've actually hit a plateau. I've actually stopped growing, and I've put the effort in, I've put the time in. I'm actually eating way more protein now. So we've checked that box off. But when it came down to it, my movements are not wrong. My movements aren't 100% correct. And understanding those movements are now going to help me maximize all my workouts. And now I'm going to start to see results, big results. Completely changed everything. Now, how this applies to life, right? Sometimes we think that we're doing everything we possibly can. We've circled the block 5 times. We've checked under the rug. We've looked up, we've looked down, we looked left, we looked right. We've checked everywhere. We've done everything we could possibly do. We checked off every box, and we're still not getting the result we want. And we're still not understanding what's going on. Sometimes it's good to get perspective on somebody, having somebody else step in, because I think some of us are too prideful or don't want to be told that we're doing something wrong. So we kind of just go on this path and assume that we're the expert on our journeys. But I can tell you that that's so silly. That's one of the lamest things you could do to yourself, me included. I mean, I willingly went to the gym with him because I know that he knows more than me. But there are other areas in my life, I'm sure there are other areas in your lives, where you don't have that insight, you don't have that opinion. And the fact of the matter is, if you have somebody help you, or if you have a little more insight, that slight adjustment can change everything for you in your life. And it's so crazy now that I look at, wow, this is just one small minor detail in my exercise journey. I wonder where else I can implement or have somebody come in and show me other things about my life, or other things that I'm pursuing or doing, and how much better things can be. Because it literally, for me, it was like a game changer. I feel like I've worked out harder today than I have in years. I feel that I've been more productive. I feel that I've gotten more work in. I feel that all those exercises I've done a million times, it feels like I've done them for the first time and I've done them correctly. And that's a great feeling. It's like you break down a barrier, and now you're in this whole new space of possibilities. And I figured I would share that all with you, because we're here to learn and grow and become better every day. And that's the journey that we're all on. That's why we're here. So if I could help anyone out, even one person, change the trajectory of where they're going in their lives, just by maybe giving some insight, or maybe just starting that thought of, wow, what if, or what could possibly be, I guess it's just one step in the right direction, I think. Well, I love you all, and I appreciate you all for listening. Thank you.